Peter, maybe I can come to you first. Incredible what you've achieved. Scaling very rapidly from what I hear. A big ambition as well. How have you managed that with no external capital? What's the secret?
There's no secret. It's very simple. Hard work. It's the secret sauce. We work harder than everyone. We hustle harder than everyone. We're working weekend, night and day. Everyone's committed to that ethic, and that's it. It's continuously learning, making our product better and better every day, listening to our customers, and aggressively just going for it.
And eating beans for 3 years, or?
We certainly did eat beans I remember back in the days when all my friends seemed to be driving around in beautiful Beamers and stuff. I think we were running 200 quid a week, and life was pretty tough. But you just struggle on if you believe in your vision.
Yeah. Okay. DJ, I think one of the interesting features of your business is, there are some very large customers, a small number of large customers, and then there are also quite a number of relatively small customers. That can be pretty challenging to manage, both from a sales perspective, but also from a customer management point of view. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I suppose when we first started out, we were lucky enough to get some customers in Dublin, but they're enterprise customers, so the likes of Grant Thornton came on board really early, so like all hands to the pump at that stage, trying to make them successful and really learn how they were using their product and getting the most value from the product. But probably one of the main challenges we found during the first kind of 18 months was that enterprise sales cycle is quite long, so they like to talk to you a lot. When you get the sale, it's great, it's a large chunk of revenue, but it's not predictable. So the likes of Brian isn't too happy when he doesn't really know when the deals are going to land. So what we did is we opened an office in San Francisco, we went after the mid-market there. So really honed the message, found out what was actually going to be repeatable. So we set up a sales and marketing engine over there, and now we've got like a real repeatable process over there, selling to the same type of person with the same problem. And obviously, the more predictable the sales and marketing engine is, then you can actually scale that out quite easily.
So, what do you think you do by choice? Do you go after those big elephants, or if you could do it all again, what would you do?
Definitely the mid-market approach is the one that I'd say if we went back to the very start, that's what we would actually have done a lot sooner. And I think a lot of the points that Fergus made earlier around that long sales cycle in the enterprise, I think most people actually kind of move up. With Cahill, we're operating a bit of a hybrid at the moment. But definitely if you can crack that mid-market, it's definitely a lot more repeatable, a lot more predictable, and then it allows you to scale up quite easily. So if you've got an AE hitting 50k a month, as Fergus alluded to, 50k ACV, then obviously it's time to start hiring more AEs, more SDRs, maybe spend a few more dollars in marketing in the right areas, and you know that that's actually going to lead to closed business at the end of the day.
Peter, actually, maybe before I come to Mike, what does your business look like from that perspective? Is it kind of very large numbers of very small customers, or?
We have so we released a second product there a couple of months ago. We've now moved into the sports software market. But our project management product has about 20,000 customers. We have one enterprise customer, which they came to us. We've never gone after enterprise. They happen to be Walt Disney, which is pretty sweet. So it's a beautiful first enterprise customer for us. We're starting to ramp up our sales organization. That talk was actually really timely for me, because I don't even know what AE is. I'm still learning all this. So our customers typically pay $50 to $200 per month. And we have 20,000 of them worldwide in just about every country in the world. Historically, we've been just absolutely suck at marketing. We're terrible. Myself and Dan, my co-founder, we're both programmers. We've just been heads down, making product for years, making a really good product, listening to our customers. And then we kind of stick our head up one day and we're like, shit, our website is shit. We're not on Twitter. We're teamworkpm.net. We don't have any sales guys. We don't have any marketing guys. And we realized we need to fix this. And we just went on a voyage of kind of learning everything we could then. We had money in the bank. So we had a good sales product. I suppose we live in an age where if you have a good product, the word will get out there, even if you kind of suck at marketing, like we did. So at least we had a good product, and people started writing articles about us and going out on Twitter mentioning us. We had money in the bank. We bought teamwork.com. And we've got these one Cahill down as head of marketing now, and we're just starting our sales process and really wrapping things up.
Okay, Mike, I guess an interesting feature of your business, it's quite a disruptive product. It's kind of, you could describe it as low end, or you could say incredibly simple, very, very easy to use. With that comes a low price point, right? So how are you finding making that work, and what are the challenges in scaling sales at that kind of price point?
We started out with a completely wrong market, actually. The initial market I went after was kind of like sales by business owner, which was a terrible place because they make sales and then they get busy on the production line and then they forget about sales. And we've been since even just pivoting to larger teams. So we have a new plan coming out in about 4 months' time, which will be towards larger organizations that can split up the teams and stuff like that. I'm not sure about our brand elasticity as regards something called OnePageCRM is ever going to be an enterprise program, and it isn't, but we do get enterprise people coming in getting it, and it's kind of like nearly a small department and stuff like that would use it. So on average, like our users are only about maybe, our accounts will be only about maybe 3 to 4 users per account, but we do get ones that are larger. It is difficult. I mean, like, you might be able to talk about going after either the elephants, the deers, or the rabbits. And we're definitely after rabbits, and while it looks like there's lots of them, each rabbit is hard to catch, and trying to get revenue out of them. So I suppose we're, the kind of stuff we do from the start, like CRM is a real terrible industry to be in. It is a stupid market to go after to start. Like, and it's just that I'm stubborn, and so like, you know, it's the noise that's there and everything like that. So we did have to like Peter was saying at the start, we focus hugely on product. We have to have product well. We don't stand out with product and create a tribe that actually recommend our product to each other. We're just not. We're going to be dead in the water. And nearly all our traffic is from referrals and recommendations. We don't spend in marketing, so we have actually quite a high conversion rate because they nearly come pre-qualified, or people have convinced them you should be using this product. It's great. So that's we have good quality traffic, but it's like, you know, we need to ramp up. You know,
so talk a little bit more about how your sales process and your you know, how you invest in sales and how that's different from the model that Fergus described so well.
Yeah, we're quite different to that. I suppose our price point is not, like, we can't afford to be calling people. We don't have sales staff really. We try and sell through you know, product well, customer well. Everybody in the company that starts has to read and kind of, you know, Delivering Happiness by Tony Shea, the founder of Zappos, which is all kind of like, you know, you just get people talking about your product, which is very different to what Fergus covers. Maybe we change things if we can start going to the bigger companies, but what we're starting to do now, like say for CRM especially, like, you know, the exact same keyword is used for a 40 million install of Oracle is used for a free product, or like us, a $12 per user product. So we just can't go the Google AdWords route. We've never bought traffic like that. So we're starting to experiment with lead generation apps and free apps that are totally separate that will drive traffic. So that's an experiment we've just started, and we'll see how it goes. And obviously, like, you know, what it was mentioned as well, the content marketing, stuff like that, which overlap with what we're trying to be as a product.
Okay, so if I can sort of maybe ask Fergus a slightly controversial question, it looks like both Peter and Mike have kind of focused on product excellence, right, and haven't invested tremendously in sales and marketing, either in terms of dollars or in terms of process. So what do you think? Did the two guys just get lucky, or you know?
No, not at all. I mean, you know, it depends on what your ambition is. Okay, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. When I left Oracle, for one time in their life, they flew a VP over to meet me, and he said, you know, you shouldn't go, you should stay. All the reasons you should stay with a very big company. And he said, I said, no, I'm going on. And then he said, you know, you'll always be number 2 to Oracle. And I said, that wouldn't be a bad place to be. So in other words, I tell the story in the context of, there's loads of ways to skin the cat. It depends on then how you want to evolve and scale. You know, if you do run into slightly larger companies, then you've got the complexity of that sale, whether you like it or not. They own the buying cycle. And the bad news is, you know, if I put on my marketing automation hat, most of the purchase is done without you even knowing it, whether you're an Oracle, whether you're a Salesforce, etc. So there may be opportunity gone a-begging, and you're willing to forgo that. It's perfectly fine, but you will hit limits to the scale of the company. Now that may be perfectly okay because you've got a very nice profitable business. It depends on, I suppose I've lived in the we're here to dominate the world kind of syndrome, and if you work for somebody as interesting as Mark Benioff, then you're going to have that mindset. And likewise in the marketing automation, I will say that American companies come at it very much from, we are going to take all the land and we are going to either outspend they may not have the best product, but they're just going to use their financial capital to go to market. No, it's not a binary situation, I would say, but the query will be taking it beyond that. And if you take, say, project management into the non-Disneys or the people who just don't come to you, what will happen? And then the other point, I think, is there's a growing up by the bigger players, and they are learning big time that all of ye here in this audience are creating new user experiences that they are wary of. You know, Salesforce has a product which is less than $10 per user per month. It is designed purposely in a packaging sense to keep a look on people like you. So they are, they are thinking about that. They will go down, and SaaS allows them to go down. And some of them will badly do it with a freemium and make a mess of it. But they are learning. They are, Salesforce UI was very dated, and they've now upgraded. May not still be best in class from a UI perspective. So I think those dynamic, the SaaS world, as in the software world, is very, very young. Mm-hmm. And there's lots of, the game is only starting. The great news, I think, and the real opportunity for Irish companies, there are masses and masses of business problems still waiting to be properly solved by SaaS solutions. So go get them. Yeah. How it'll end out in the end, who knows? But it's a constant dynamic of improving product excellence. UI has come on so far because of these things, so rapidly, etc., etc. It was good 5 years ago. It's just dreadful now. So I think there'll be dynamics, but you can have a successful company with $20, $30 million turnover a year. Mm-hmm. Will you get to 100 million? Maybe not. Will you get to 500 million? Definitely not. But then it might be, well, who cares?